Hey there, YouTube. How was your weekend? Everybody out there ready for a brand new week? Well, I am, and this week we're going to start off talking about fat on a raw vegan diet. That's a subject I hear talked about a lot. People have specific views for it, and most of the time, like most things, I think people have two extreme opinions about or thoughts about on one end of the spectrum or the other. Once again, I'm kind of like taking the Buddhist approach, which is the middle way, where I try not to be real extreme on too many things in life, but anyhow. So I looked up some of this stuff, and like I say, I'm just kind of talking from my personal experience here. Like I say, it's opinion. If you have a different opinion, we don't have to get mad. Everybody wants to argue and be angry at each other that don't agree these days. You do you, I'll do me. One thing though, fat, we do need fat. I know a lot of people out there on the whole 10% or below thing, and I'm not necessarily against that. Probably a little bit high. I think I'm a little bit higher, but as I was preparing for this video, I may not be. I may not be eating as much fat as I thought. But anyhow, fats are critical for storing energy, maintaining body temp. I'm reading from my notes here. Storing energy, maintaining body temp, cushioning vital organs, regulating hormones, transmitting nerve impulses, transporting fat-soluble nutrients in our body. And it's also very important for healthy skin and hair. And there's two different types of fat, like most people at least are familiar with them out there, omega-6s and omega-3s. And the threes we really need to focus on the three and get enough of the three in there, or a good ratio of the 6 to the 3 for brain function. It helps us think. It keeps us from having foggy brain. I think where it mostly gets tripped up is when we start getting into, how much or how, that. And that you've got to just decide that for yourself. I mean, I just don't tend to lean towards that uber low fat, like below 10% fat. And also too, as I'm batting this around, wherever you fall on the spectrum about this, and I would highly recommend you do some of the things that I do myself just all the time, like I was doing this morning, like I was doing over the weekend. Just look into these things and educate yourself a little bit better on them and learn some things you may not know. Might change your mind, or it might confirm what you already believe. But yeah, we need the good omega-3, and we need the good. It's not like the omega-6 is bad. We just need to, in general, bring more of the omega-3s into there. Now, also too, when I talk about the things that I'm taking into my body, just for full disclosure, and people will still ask me every once in a while, but I guess they're new and don't really know me. I don't put stuff into chronometer or chronometer, however you want to call it, or any of those things online. No, I'm not writing down like I advise people to do in a food journal, but also too, I don't advise everybody to have a food journal. If you're not struggling and you're eating and if working for you, you don't need to write it down unless you just want to. But it's not just as willy-nilly as it might look. Like next month will be 10 years eating like this, eating a very, very high, mostly raw food diet. And you just kind of you look it up, you look everything up over the course of time, so you know how many calories in bananas. And the calories in an average sized banana, so you just kind of think, okay, well, some are a little bit more, some are a little bit less. You know how many calories are roughly in the mangoes I eat. I know how many calories are in the pineapple I eat, and the papaya, all the different fruits. I know how many calories are in the avocado. And that's a good place to start. Avocado, good source of fat. And that's why I don't go uber low fat, or try to be I don't ever really get, unless I'm using it for a specific purpose or I've had some other fat throughout the day. I don't understand eating part of an avocado. I mean, why? I mean, an avocado has anywhere from 200 to 300 calories. We'll say the average one being 250 calories. Well, I know that I'm getting up in the close to 3,000 calories a day, at least up in the high 2,000s, anywhere from 2,600 to 3,000 calories a day. So if I eat a whole avocado, I'm within that 10% range, and I'm not even necessarily trying to stay at 10%. For me, I'm good with, between 10 and 20%. Now, this time of year, when it's warmer, I tend to adjust a little bit seasonally. So I won't eat as much fat in the summertime in the hot months as I will in the winter. But still, if I'm eating a full avocado, because if I eat a whole avocado or another source, let me before I get to avocados, I use 2 to 3 tablespoons of tahini in certain recipes. Now, 2 tablespoons has 225 calories. So on the ones I use 3, you're talking about like 340 calories more or less. Once again, when I eat something like the avocado, or when I eat a full avocado, or when I have a recipe with tahini in it, that is pretty much my fat for the day, or that's pretty much my omega-6 fat for the day. I will have, omega-3 sources of omega-3 fat, which are, for me anyway, I mean, there's a number of different sources. In fact, there's fruit itself has omega-3 sources in it, but I'm talking about like having some solid stuff. Like I use chia seeds, I use flax seeds, and I use hemp seeds. Chia is the easiest, and I can usually find it around, and it's actually chia or flax is probably my most cost effective, but I can find hemp seeds a lot easier, so I tend to use them. But if you can use them, the chia and the flax seed have a better profile in omega-3 than do the hemp seeds, but the hemp seeds are great, and then the hemp seeds are a great source of protein, so it's kind of this or neither this or that. But what I'm just trying to get to here is like, it's not as complicated as a lot of people might think. Just eat a healthy amount of fat and just make sure that you're balancing, that you're getting those good sources of the omega-3 fat. Like even if you're eating a healthy amount of, say, fat coming from avocado or tahini or coconut or things like that, even if you're eating the right amount and you're not eating too much of it, you still need good sources of omega-3 to kind of balance that out a little bit and help with the functions that like I was talking about, like the hair and the brain for the omega-3, or no, it's the brain for the omega-3s, but sometimes I get that mixed up, the ratio back and forth. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is it's just really not that complicated. And if you use kind of a similar method yourself, now you maybe you don't take in as many calories, your body doesn't require as many calories, but you just scale down from that. But I would say you could use a similar approach, like you just can't sit around basically. And I know fat is very comforting to the body. Basically, you just can't sit around and eat fat all the time. And I just try to, like I say, keep it to, and I would advise you, if you have a source of fat, like a significant source of fat for lunch, then you just don't have it for dinner. Or if you like to spread things out a little bit more, you're more than welcome to have, a little bit here, a little bit there throughout the day. And one thing I want to mention to finish off is talk about nuts, because sometimes people get confused or they think you're contradicting yourself, or I'll show a recipe and they're like, well, aren't you using a lot of this or that? It's all about the amounts, and that's why I'm always saying be very careful with nuts, whether you're eating them, whether you're using them in recipes, because the calories and the fat add up quick on nuts. Like for instance, a while back I did a taco salad. Now in that taco salad I had walnut meat made from walnuts, obviously, and I had like a cashew sour cream. And on one I showed on Instagram, I also had some guacamole. But here's the thing. It's not a lot. Like when I'm using that taco meat, let's say I've used, I don't know, however much, let's say I maybe have used half a cup or whatever and to make taco meat. Well, I'm not sitting down, like that stuff goes a long way. I'm not eating that I'm not eating that whole thing that I made in one sitting. It'll stretch out. I'll be able to use those in tacos or on taco salads for, the batch I made last time for at least 3 or 4 meals. And the same with the cashew sour cream. So even though, yes, I'm using that stuff and I'm using it in the same thing when I'm having a taco salad or tacos, the amounts in there, it's not like I'm using, like 300 calories worth of this nut, 300 calories worth of this nut, and then the avocado. It's all kind of balanced out. And I just, like I say, I do these kind of things and it's worked for me. I feel good. I got the energy to do the things I need to do. I got good digestion. And this is just kind of how I do it. Like I say, I know the calories in food. I know what I'm taking in. I know it's rough. I know it's rough. I wouldn't ever say, like, I could tell you at the end of the day, like, okay, I had 2,745 calories, but I know it is fairly accurate just by knowing how much calories is in various food that you eat. So anyhow, that's just my 2 cents worth. I just don't like this extreme. I don't like the extreme versions of anything. And once again, I don't ever want that to be misunderstood to mean just do things whatever and not pay attention to what you're putting into your body. It's just like, I'm sorry, I just can't write everything down and crunch out every number and all that stuff. Just learn a little bit about the food you're eating, and it's the most natural thing we do. So just don't stress over it. Get a healthy amount of fat. Like I say, for me, over the course of the year, I eat between 10-20% fat. So we'll just split it in the middle and say I'm probably at about 15. So anyhow, you do you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you here again on Wednesday, hopefully. Peace.